Here's what I want you to write down, what's true about attracting real estate agents, or I call it changing their lives. Write this down, because they said it so many times, being authentic, but people don't leave companies and join companies. They leave people and what? Join people. Just know that in the heart, when you're across from somebody, they're buying into you. They're just buying into you, your vision, right? I don't even know what we have. You know, Brent and I, when's the last time you were in, what is that, the cloud office, the thing? We don't, you know, we don't even know where it exists. You know, because I never get into that, right? But I want you to understand, be authentic, and you're gonna talk about them. So I was thinking about it, 8 years ago this spring, right around this time, I flew to Cleveland, Ohio, and met with this next gentleman. Now, when I tell you people, it's all relationship, I met Al Stasek. I went to his home. I actually said, guys, when we started this, I mean, I'm meeting people, hey, can I stay at your home? I stayed at his home a couple days with his kids. And I just asked him, his kids are now 19 and 20 years old. So 8 years ago, I meet him and he goes, Gene, what? I'm best friends with Jay Kinder and Michael Reese. I said, no, come on, dude. I know you do not, you can't get Jay Kinder and Michael Reese. He goes, I can get them. Let me tell you what changed our company, that relationship. Let's give it up for Al Stasek from Cleveland, Ohio! Woo! Love you.
Hey. It's coming in? All right. I got a serious question. We're gonna calm it down a little bit. Now we got 15 minutes, so I want to share something that has been I suppose a concept I've been trying to get better at, and I want to start this off by asking, by a raise of hands, and this is not a trick question, but how many in the room, and if this is not you don't have to put your hand up, hate losing more than they like winning? It's okay, not everybody. So everyone that put their hand up, we all have something in common, and all the way back to my collegiate years of tennis, you did not want to be around me if I lost a tennis match, or a hockey game for that matter. I just was not a pleasant person to be around, and I used to lean into that like a badge of honor, because frankly, there's really good aspects of that trait that have helped me see success in several different ways. But we're going to talk a little bit about detachment. It's detach from the bullshit and be free. Who wants to detach from the bullshit and be free? Cool. So we're going to get to the 4 easy steps. But before I do that, last October I decided to stop cutting my hair and trimming my beard, and that I was going to go and live in California, specifically in Lake Tahoe, for a month. And so I just needed a lot of hair for protection. So I just stopped cutting it. And my beautiful fiance was like, I didn't know you had curls. Like, I didn't know either. I got curls. So as you can see from there, I put Snoop Dogg in the car with me. We trekked 2,200 miles in my new truck, and we made the trek to Lake Tahoe. It was amazing. This is him on Kings Beach. We stayed in Kings Beach. Snoop had a blast. We had a blast. My sons flew out. We skied and snowboarded for a long time. I had friends come out. It was just the most beautiful sunsets. Everything was amazing. There's Court. She came out. She had to come out a couple times. We'll get to that in a minute. But then, what could possibly go wrong? It was perfect. Where I'm in what I call heaven on earth, Lake Tahoe. If you haven't been there, you should check it out. It's absolutely stunning. But what could go wrong? Well, I caught an edge, and if you're into snowboarding and you play hard like we do, accidents come with that. And we're going to talk about how we handle the adversity, because if we can guarantee you guys one thing, if you're going to go full go, if you're going to play this game like a pro, not like an amateur, guess what? Pros get hurt. Pros, shit happens. Sometimes you're going after that recruit and they end up going to another company, or you lose one of your best. I mean, I've had, my real estate team, I had my 2 top agents walk out. And, I'm not grateful that they left, but the cream on top of that was that it forced me to look at EXP. So thank you, ladies, for departing. And one of them's already actually come back. But, I'm here, I'm looking at my view. This is the actual picture after I got hurt. That's why I'm on this stool right now. It's not because I'm lazy. I'm just giving her a little rest, the old hoof. And, I had to do some self-talk. And the self-talk was this. And this is kind of like where the story comes into the lesson, right? And I had to ask myself, what story, what meaning am I giving to this right now? Now, I shared with you the whole trip. It was awesome. I still had a week and a half left, and I had a whole group of people. Mike Reese, Woods is coming out. I had other guests coming out to snowboard with me, and guess what? I couldn't snowboard with them. I was starting to catch myself falling into a little bit of a, oh, woe's me, little depression, little feeling bad for myself. And I stood right there. And looked at that view, and I had to just give a different meaning and tell myself a little bit of a different story. So what I wanted to share with you is, and ironically, I read 3 books on this entire trip, and they all kind of surround around detachment. And if you're not familiar with it, this is a high level, kind of surface level. It'll give you like a 101 beginners on how you can, when something bad comes about, that we want to just immediately, it triggers you, how you can catch yourself, become aware, and then turn that into a different story. So would that be helpful for everybody? Yeah. Sweet. Cool. So what if I told you the way you respond to the setback, not the actual setback itself, could be the very thing that's holding you back from hitting the goals, the income goals, whatever it is. It could be the number of people in your organization, number of homes that you want to sell, or how many people you want to recruit to build your team out. Well, setbacks, problems, disagreements, issues, they're called shit storms. We call these getting hit by a 2x4. I don't know if that video will play. Will it play? Yes, no, maybe? Click it. Yeah. Play. She was just trying to help. But we get hit by 2x4s. And here's some examples of 2x4s. Losing out on the listing that you're like, oh my God, it was like $1 million, $2 million listing, and someone else got it. And it's the competitor you just can't stand in your market that got it, even worse, right? An agent you've been trying to recruit, they go into another direction. Watching a deal fall through after weeks and weeks and weeks of negotiations and battling it out, and it doesn't get across the finish line. Or market conditions, right? One of your top team members, I mean, that's happened to me. Anybody ever lose their number 1 or number 2 team member off of the team? And immediately we get this, it's a triggering thing. So what if, in a matter of seconds, we can start to reprogram our mind to pause, stop, and maybe just give a different meaning to that situation. And by the way, this is not easy. Nowhere in these slides does it say, oh, this is easy and anybody could do it. It's freaking hard. It's hard, but I believe it'll give us freedom. So let's see. I'm clicking the button they told me. All right, so is the story you're attaching, is it true or is it BS? So think of something right now, recently, or whatever comes to your mind first. That's probably going to be the most significant setback or 2x4. The last 2x4. The immediate story you told yourself, was it true or was it BS? Was it true or was it wrong? Could you have framed that differently? When you detach from the story you're telling yourself about what the setback means, you give yourself the mental clarity to approach the situation for what it really is, which is one challenge in the larger story of your resilience, your get up and go. So when I was on that, looking at the view, I was literally, I have to do a lot of self-talk. I talk to myself a lot. I don't know about y'all. But and we can talk to ourselves different ways. Depends on the story we want to say. And I had to immediately catch myself and say, you know what? I'm here. I'm in Lake Tahoe. I'm living a life most aren't living right now. I'll be damned if I'm gonna feel bad and sorry for myself just because I hurt my ankle and, you know, messed up my leg snowboarding. And so I had to reframe that. I had to be grateful for who was coming to visit and the fact that I just got to spend that time with everybody. So how are we gonna reframe it? I used to read a lot of Buddhism in my 20s, and I think I was just maybe not mentally mature enough to really get the concept. Took me 30 more years to really understand that the root of all suffering is attaching that meaning. So when you think about, well, what do you mean? Attachment to what? We're attaching to a false meaning. We're giving meaning to that incident, that 2x4 that just hit us, that isn't true. The truth is we can give any meaning to it. I'm not telling you to jump up and down and be happy if you strain your leg and twist your ankle all up and you get hurt. There's nothing to be happy about that, but what could we attach to it? My mind immediately goes to, I'm not gonna be able to go snowboarding with my friends, or if I lose out on that listing, that was another thing, When I lost out on listings, I mean, I was on the phone with that seller the next day. He's like, what could I have done better? Why did you choose the other person? And I didn't attach really accurate meanings to that. I often beat myself up. I should have prepared better. I should have maybe talked more to the wife, not the husband, or I should have talked more to the husband, not the wife. And there's all these things. I literally would lose sleep over it. Instead of giving it a better meaning, like this is an opportunity for me to just get better on the next one and better on the next one. So here's 4 quick steps, and then we're gonna get out of here, and I can't wait for our next speaker, my favorite queen, Veronica. Give it up for Veronica Figueroa. I'm gonna warm this seat up for her. So 4 steps, here we go. Awareness, stop, awareness. My mind's going, it's going in this wrong direction. What story am I telling myself? Okay? Is it true or is it BS? When you get hit with a 2x4, pause and ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about the situation? I'm not good enough. I'll never win another listing. The detachment starts with catching the voice that's going on inside your head and shutting that down and replacing that story with a different story. Step 2, reframe it. Reframe the BS and make it feedback. What could I have learned from losing this listing? Where could my business go after losing my 2 top agents? What could I have done differently to lead them? Do I need to hire a coach? Maybe this is an opportunity that I just need to step up and increase my leadership. Or check out this company called EXP. For me, that's what it was. Tweak on how building rapport. Reframe. Detachment allows you to see these lessons clearly instead of being consumed by the sting of rejection. And I do allow myself sometimes to get that consumed by that sting of failure, that 2x4. It's stinging, it hurts. You got to catch yourself, awareness. All right, step 3, cultivate resilience with gratitude. So this is my favorite step. And when I was standing there staring at the view, I said to myself, gosh, I can't be unhappy right now. Look at this. I feel like I've died and gone to heaven. I'm looking at blue waters and mountains with snow tops on. I mean, it couldn't be more beautiful. So stop feeling sorry for yourself. This is me talking to myself. And reframe this. And that's what I did. Gratitude helps pull you out of the negative spiral. And detachment is often about just perspective, right? What perspective are you choosing? And it's a choice. The cool thing is, like I had said earlier, this isn't easy. I'm not gonna come up here and say, it's just easy, you can change it just like that. For some of you, maybe it is. It wasn't for me at all. It was a battle. I was battling this guy over here and this guy over here, this guy over there. I said, feel bad for yourself, be angry. And then over here, it's like, you know what, be grateful. Reframe this, be happy, be grateful for where you're at and the people that are around you, the people that are gonna come visit you. I'll tell you, when I did get hurt and I had to drive back. And so one benefit that came of that is that Courtney and my stepdaughter, Cammie, I had to fly him out and drive back with me. So that was awesome. We got to spend 3 amazing days together, one-on-one, bonding, making memories, building experiences on the drive back to Ohio. And then when we got back to Ohio, I was depressed again. True story. 4, realign with the meaning story that matters. So realign it with the new story. And I have a couple of quotes that I found, and then I want to wrap this up with another little story that I was thinking about as I was standing over there. So a couple quotes. You guys can take pictures if you want. These are not my quotes. I just found them on ChatGPT or Jasper or something like that. It was my letting go that gave me a better hold. I loved this one. It was my letting go that gave me a better hold. You know, we've been doing this agent attraction game for almost 8 years. It's been an amazing ride and the best 8 years of my career. But make no mistake, you know, Michael, Jay, and I, we've lost a lot of agents. You know, lost out. We were trying to bring them over and we lost them to another competitor, or they just didn't come at all. And by letting go and focusing on, I forget which speaker was that was saying it. I think it was James Mazzy, about focusing. He focused not on the goal, but on the system. So stay focused on that process. Stay focused on that journey, not so much the result. The results will come. I like this one. I do know that detachment's important. A surgeon can't be weeping into the open wound. We're being paid as professionals to keep our heads square in the game, not to go crazy during a negotiation, and we're all gonna run into the crazies. The crazy co-broke. I just heard a story on the airport on the way in about one of our agents who ran into a crazy from a different company, thankfully. And you know, we are being paid a lot of money to keep our head in the game and not overreact and not lose our cool. That's what we're being paid for. So we got to remember that and start detaching from whatever that story is. When someone hangs up on you, treats you like crap, texting back and forth, and you're texting in a negotiation, let it go. To be constantly effective, you must put a certain distance between yourself and what happens to you on the golf course. Where's Brent? Gove, you do this? Miss a shot? They call it short-term memory. Golfers have to have short-term memory. If not, think about it. Any professional in any sport, tennis, Roger Federer, he hits an unforced error. He can't dwell on that. He's got the rest of the match to play. You have to detach from whatever that story is. That was my biggest reason why I didn't go anywhere in tennis, is I was attaching to the fact that I didn't hit the winner and that I maybe didn't win the set or I didn't win the game or the match. And it's not indifference, it's just detachment. There's a big difference there. All right, so leaving here today, you're gonna get hit with some 2x4s. Ask yourself, what meaning am I giving to that sting? You're gonna be amazed on how lighter your focus is. And remember, when you choose to detach, 2x4s are just a stepping stone to growth. So stay aware, detach from your bullshit stories, and let's be free. Now, before I get off the stage, I want to just, I was thinking of another story. It's got nothing to do with attachment, but I got 1:38 seconds. It's very selfish. So, back in 2015, this was 10 years ago, Jay. 10 years ago, we were in Aspen at a mastermind, and a gentleman that is my brother and business partner and one of my best friends, Jay Kinder, stood up in front of us. This is before we even knew what EXP was. And he looked at us, and I don't know if you guys know the quote, but I'm gonna let you finish the quote. But the beginning of the quote went like this, and I'm gonna record it if that's cool. All right, that's the wrong one. Here we go. All right, the quote went something like this. Wouldn't it be really cool if we could put all our fires together and make one big fire? Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you.